what bothers me about... Dulcé, this is my show. What are you doing?
Wow, wow. Our show.
I work here. It is our show.
Dulcé, Sloan, everybody!
Studies show a third of all dates are just people trying to eat for free.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Dulcé Sloan, you know the name, you know the face, and she is everywhere. And this morning, she happens to be here in the studio with us. And this weekend, you get your opportunity to catch her at the Lawrenceville Arts Center at the Aurora Theater. This is on New Year's Eve. Great to have you with us.
Hello, friend.
This is a homecoming for you, being at the Aurora. Could you start, what, you were an intern there?
Well, actually, this isn't the first time I've performed there. When I started doing stand-up there a couple years ago, I did a show, but it wasn't like a big show.
Yeah.
But I did intern there when I was a senior in high school.
Wow.
And so, since I didn't have a car, so most kids did their internships like after school.
Right.
In sixth period, or like the last class of the day. So I didn't have a car, so my mother would take me on the weekends and I would intern there.
Oh my, so now how long have you been telling jokes?
I started doing stand-up in 2009.
Okay.
So I started here. There's a comedian, Big Kenny Johnson, who forced me to take a stand-up class because he thought I was funny. So now I'm here telling the comedy jokes. But I have a theater degree. I've been acting my entire life.
Oh, wow.
Okay, because I was going to say, your mom's here with you today.
Yes, Mom's here.
You know what I love? I'm like, what in the world did your mother say when you said, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian, and I'm going to move off and, you know, go do my thing? As a mama, I'd be like,
Well, the great part is, so I told my mom when I was 6 years old I wanted to be an actor.
Okay.
And then she said, what are you going to do to achieve that?
okay.
So anything I wanted to do, like I remember trying to play softball in high school, she was like, no, you're an actor. I wanted to do color guard in high school, she said, no, you're an actor. And then I found out that she wouldn't let me do color guard because she realized that twirling a flag wasn't a salary position.
Now you know
Is the reason that she wouldn't let me do that. She's like, what kind of job is you gonna have twirling a flag? And I was like, sustained. So she's always been supportive. And when I wasn't sure about getting into stand-up, when Big Kenny was asking me to take the class again, because for 2 years he asked me, she said that she had a dream that the whole world was laughing at me. So I took the class because my mother had a dream that I was a stand-up comic.
Well, we know folks are going to be laughing this weekend. Tell us about this show that you have going on.
It's on New Year's Eve. I don't know what I'm gonna be talking about, so good luck. But you know, your girl been on a couple vacations this year.
Okay.
So I'll be talking about those shenanigans. The fact that I'm single, which is always confusing because you see this face, this stupid.
Agreed.
Agreed. I walk out every day in the world just being gorgeous.
There's
and
just
just
no accounting.
It's real stupid. I want to recount. These men are dumb.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
Thank you. But yeah.
Y'all just gonna talk about us like we're not sitting here on the couch with y'all? Come on now.
Wrong with y'all?
Y'all don't do that.
Sir, you're married. Your opinion does not matter to me.
Saying. All right.
My friend Joe Kelly is going to be opening for me. And he's going to be selling some merchandise of t-shirts. But yeah, it's just a fun New Year's Eve. And, you know, I came down to see my mama and bother people and do some stand-up.
You know what? A lot of people know you from The Daily Show. What was it like working with Trevor Noah?
It's fun. My favorite thing was to bother him when he was getting his makeup done. I would just come in there and just say random things. I would pop in, say Jeezy lyrics, and then walk out. This is legitimately what I would do. I would just pop in, bother him, and say something silly, and then leave. But we have a really good relationship. He's always been really sweet to my mom because he loves moms.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it was, as happy as I am to see him move on to other opportunities, I'm very sad to see my friend leave.
I know.
So it's kind of a bit, it's like, you know, you're glad to see him go, but, you know, you're sad to see him leave. It's kind of how it is.
Because that's what you do. You know, it's like people that you like, you love to see.
build those relationships with them?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's hard.
I loved it. When she first sat down, she's like looking at the little clock. She said, how much time do we have? 30 seconds? She said, I can read the teleprompter.
Yeah.
Of course you can.
It was interesting because one day they were like, well, we don't know if you can read the teleprompter. I said, but when I auditioned for the show, I read a teleprompter. So did somebody not send an email? Because what are we not?
Somebody not send an email?
I did the thing, and now you're telling me I can't do the thing. I stood in front of a green screen. I flew across. What y'all need, bro? What's happening here?
Do any of your friends end up in some of your routines, and what do they have to say about it when, like, they go, wait a minute, you were talking about me?
I've had a gentleman caller or two. Also, a couple of my friends have ended up, but the thing is, if there are other comics, I'll call them and go, hey, you said this thing, can I use it? And then you'll get a yes or a no. Or it's, you know, a lot of times people just say something or you're in a conversation with somebody and that
Right.
sparks something.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of times you'll hear someone will say something to you and it'll spark you maybe to come up with an idea for something else or maybe complete a circle of thought that you had about a joke, but everything can give you fodder or information or just a spark for a joke. Because I have a joke about my mom where like a couple years ago I had lost my job and I called her and was like, you know, Mama, I lost my job. I might need help paying my rent. And she was like, oh.
She said, sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that. And then that was the answer. And I was like, Mama, if I can't pay my rent, I might have to start, you know, becoming a lady of the night or, you know, selling illegal substances. And she was like, well, you know, prostitution is legal in Nevada. And that's what my mother said to me on the phone. And then I was telling it on stage and this lady was like, she didn't say that. And my mother was in the audience twirling a drink going, yes, I did. So.
And she's mighty glad you didn't become a twirler.
Yes.
You know?
When she was annoyed at color guard to this
Color
day,
guard.
she really was like, we're supposed to go from building to building, brazen A flags every day. That's not a salary
my
position. That's a waste of time.
gosh.
She was really not a fan of people twirling.
Yeah.
Me, especially, she's like, I was supposed to spend my gas every day for you to twirl a flag, is what I was told. So she made sure that I stayed in acting and got my theater degree. And she's always been very supportive of me because I also have, you know, my uncle is a professional singer.
Yeah.
So seeing someone be successful in the arts and in entertainment wasn't something in my family that was a new concept.
Well,
And
you
you
did
were doing
it.
it. Oh, yeah. You're
And-
out
and-
here
and
doing
you
it
know
for
what?
sure.
Mama was right.
Yeah, she
Mom,
did it.
And Mama is proud
You
too.
were
She's
right.
standing over here and she is so
She
proud for
is.
sure.
Mary
She
A.
It's been so great having you here on the show. Of course, we're going to post this interview online at AtlantaNewsSource.com, but make sure y'all go check her out this
Yes.
weekend.